Welcome children to SV Union High School and Junior College Pune. I am Deepa Phadke. We are going to continue clauses for learning noun clauses in this session. This will be the last session for clauses. We have already learned about adjective clauses and adverbial clauses, their types. Today we will be learning about noun clause. A noun clause does the function of a noun in a sentence. Asking the question what to the main clause, we can identify the noun clause, and it can be substituted with a pronoun. The noun clause may either be in the subject or object position in a sentence. So what do you mean by a noun clause, children? A noun clause is that clause which functions of a noun, which functions as a noun in the sentence. And whenever we see the clause, whenever we see the complex sentence, we can ask the question what to the main clause just to identify the noun clause. If it is a noun clause, you will get the answer into the subordinate clause. And this can be substituted with a pronoun. So noun clause, when you see the sentence formation, children, when you see the clause, when you see the complex sentence, you will see that the noun clause either comes into the place of a subject or object into the sentence. That means either you will see the noun clause in the beginning of the sentence or in the end of the sentence in the position of object. So children, a noun clause is that subordinate clause which does the function of a noun. Now let's learn the types of noun clause. Noun clause functions as a subject of the verb, as an object of the verb, as an object of an infinitive, an object of the preposition, as a complement of a verb, and in opposition to a noun or a pronoun. So whenever the noun clause functions as the subject of a verb, then the sentence begins with the subordinator. Why it begins with the subordinator? Because we have learnt, children, a sentence has subject and predicate. So when the noun clause comes into the place of the subject, obviously the noun clause begins with the subordinator, means the sentence begins with the subordinator. Then noun clause also functions as an object of the verb. Now when S, that is subject plus verb plus object, when in the place of object the noun clause falls, obviously the main clause ends with a complete verb and then the subordinate clause begins. When noun clause functions as an object of an infinitive, that means the main clause ends with an infinitive. What do you mean by infinitive, children? It's a type of non-finite verb and it means to plus verb. So whenever the noun clause functions as an object of an infinitive, you see the infinitive in the end of the first clause, that is the main clause, because the main clause ends with an infinitive. Then the noun clause functions as an object of the preposition. That means again, whenever it is falling into the place of object, obviously it comes into the ending part of the sentence. Obviously the main clause begins, that means the main clause comes into the beginning of the sentence. So the main clause ends with a preposition and after that the noun clause comes. When the noun clause comes or functions as a complement of a verb, the main clause ends with incomplete verb. So to complete it, you'll have to see the noun clause that comes into the place of object in the sentence. The noun clause also functions in opposition to a noun or pronoun. That means the meaning of a noun or a pronoun in the main clause is expressed by the subordinate noun clause. So to understand the noun clause, you have to read the main clause, and the meaning of that noun or pronoun in the main clause gets expressed with the help of the noun clause that comes into the ending part of the sentence. So let's study all these functions or all these types of the subordinate noun clause further. Let's see some of the examples of noun clauses. When noun clause functions as a subject of a verb. See this example. What is stated in the letter is not true. Now here, if you see the whole sentence, children, the subject is what is stated in the letter. Verb is and object is not true. So here the noun clause is functioning as a subject of the verb. So noun clause obviously falls into the place of subject, and it is the subject of a verb is in the main clause. Let's see another function of the noun clause. Here the noun clause functions as an object of a verb. Obviously, when it is functioning, when the noun clause functions as the object of a verb, the noun clause falls into the place of the object. So Sanjana exclaimed that she felt relieved. Sanjana, subject, exclaimed, verb, that she felt relieved, object. So noun clause is coming into the place of object, and it is functioning as the object of the verb exclaimed in the main clause. So Sanjana exclaimed, main clause, that she felt relieved, noun clause, functioning as an object of a verb exclaimed in the main clause. See the third function of noun clause. It functions as an object of an infinitive. I opened the box to see what was inside. Here again the noun clause has been placed into the place of object. I opened the box to see what was inside. I opened the box to see, main clause. What was inside, subordinate noun clause. Children, we have learnt certain rules to find out, to identify the noun clause. Here we can apply it. We need to ask a question what to the main clause to get the subordinate noun clause. So let's ask a question what. I opened the box to see what was inside. So the answer we are getting into the given noun clause. Here if we see main clause, I opened the box to see. Opened is the finite verb and to see is an infinitive. So here the noun clause, the subordinate noun clause is coming as an object of an infinitive to see into the main clause. Let's continue learning types of noun clause. Here, noun clause is functioning as an object of a preposition. So, in this example, you must listen attentively to what the teacher says. You must listen attentively to main clause. What the teacher says, subordinate noun clause. Now, children, here if you see the sentence format, noun clause has come into the place of object. Obviously, it is coming at the end of the sentence. But when you see the main clause, it ends with the preposition to. And obviously, when we ask a question what to the main clause, you get the subordinate noun clause. So you must listen attentively to what the teacher says. So here the noun clause is functioning as an object of a preposition to in the main clause. Children, when you are asked about the clauses, you are supposed to identify the main clause, the type of subordinate clause, as well as you need to state the relation between them. So this is the way, children, the answer has to be written. Now see the fifth function of a noun clause. It functions as a complement of a verb. My belief is that all will succeed. Here again, the noun clause is fallen into object's place. So my belief is what? That all will succeed. So whenever the noun clause functions as a complement of a verb, you will ask a question what to the main clause and you get the answer into the subordinate clause. So my belief is what, or my belief is the main clause, and the subordinate noun clauses that all will succeed. Here, whenever the noun clause functions as a complement of a verb, the verb in the main clause is incomplete. It gets completed only when you add the noun clause into the main clause. So children, here you need to remember this. Now let's study the sixth type of noun clause, when the noun clause functions in opposition to a noun or a pronoun. See the example. The fact that he is the culprit is known to all. The fact is known to all is the main clause. That he is the culprit subordinate noun clause. Now when you see the fact is the noun over here in the main clause. So the subordinate noun clause is functioning in opposition to a noun given in the main clause, and the noun in the main clause is the fact. So that he is the culprit, this subordinate noun clause functions in opposition to a noun, the fact, in the main clause. Same way, children, look at the last example for the sixth function or sixth type of noun clause. It is certain that you will succeed. It is certain, main clause, that you will succeed, subordinate noun clause. Why it becomes a noun clause? Because it is certain. It is certain what? That you will succeed. So the answer gets tallied into the given subordinate clause. So surely it is a subordinate noun clause. Now when you see the main clause, it is certain. What is certain? That you will succeed. So here the subordinate noun clause is functioning in opposition to a pronoun it in the main clause. So children, this is the way you need to explain into your answer the relationship between the two clauses. When we learn about noun clauses, children, there are certain things which you need to remember, and we have already discussed about it over here. The first thing is the noun clause comes in the beginning of the sentence, that it functions as the subject of the verb of the main clause. Sometimes it comes into the place of object. So you need to see what is the position of the noun clause, what is the position of the subordinate noun clause. If it is coming into the beginning, it functions as the subject of the verb. If it is coming into the end of the sentence, it functions as an object of, then it can be as a complement of a verb, it can be in opposition to a noun or pronoun. So this is the way there are different functions which we have studied about the noun clause. And the very important thing is that because when the sentence will be given to you in the examination, there it will not be provided to you the type of subordinate clause. You need to find it out, and you have already studied that if it is an adjective clause, you need to ask a question who or which to the main clause. If it is an adverbial clause, obviously there are certain rules which you need to follow about it, like why, when, where, regarding adverb clause of time, place and manner. And remaining all types of adverbial clauses, you need to look at the subordinator given into the subordinate clause. Same way, when we are studying about the noun clause, you need to ask a question what to the main clause, and if you get the answer into the subordinate clause, it is surely a noun clause. Let's do this exercise, children. Identify and state the type of noun clause. Look at the first one. Where he hid his money is a mystery. Where he hid his money is a mystery. Now here the subordinator is where. So obviously where he hid his money is the subordinate clause. Is a mystery is the main clause. Now here the subordinate clause has come into the place of subject. So you can ask a question what to the main clause. What is a mystery? Where he hid his money is a mystery. So the first part, that where he hid his money, becomes the subordinate noun clause. And what will be the type? Here it is functioning as the subject of the verb is in the main clause. Same way, children, look at the second sentence. Do you know why the animals look sad? Do you know? Main clause. Why the animals look sad? Subordinate clause. Again, do you know what? Why do the animals look sad? So here the answer gets tallied. So the subordinate clause is a noun clause and it is functioning as the object of the verb know into the main clause. Look at the third one. It all depends on how you speak. It all depends on main clause. How you speak, subordinate clause, because it is beginning with the subordinator how. Now here in the main clause, it is ending with the preposition on. So obviously, the subordinate noun clause is functioning as an object of a preposition on in the main clause. Same way, children, in fourth example, A man become what he thinks. A man become main clause. What he thinks, subordinate clause. A man become what? What he thinks. So answer is getting tallied by asking a question what to the main clause. So what he thinks is the subordinate clause functioning as an object of the verb become in the main clause. But here children, it is a complementary. It is complementing the verb become into the main clause. So noun clause is functioning as a complement of a verb become in the main clause. Same way, look at the fifth example. The child tried to explain what he saw. What he saw, subordinate clause. The child tried to explain, main clause. The main clause is ending with with non-finite verb, and that is to explain. The child tried. Tried is a finite verb. To explain, non-finite verb. So the main clause ends with an infinitive, to explain. Obviously, the noun clause what he saw functions as an object of an infinitive, to explain in the main clause. So children, we all have studied about the clauses. First of all, we have studied the types of sentences based on the structure of the sentence: simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. Then we have studied about complex sentences and the types of subordinate clauses: noun clause, adjective clause, and adverbial clauses. We also have learnt about their types and what are the rules that need to be followed for identifying these subordinate clauses and their relation between themselves and the main clause. So children, now you are going to read all the lessons from your course book and try to find out the examples of clauses and try to understand the sentence structure when there is one subject and one predicate, and in the predicate when you see one finite verb, it becomes the simple sentence. When you see the compound sentence, you see two or more than two main clauses joined with the coordinating conjunctions, and a complex sentence is that one where you get to see one subordinate clause and one or more than one main clauses. The subordinate clause itself becomes a subordinate clause because of the subordinator that comes along with the clause. So children, here we end with the grammar topic clauses and its types, functions and relations. So children, you are going to read the course book and find out more examples for solving them. Thank you children.